Recently, Paul Harrel posted a video wherein he shot a veritable cornucopia of 5.7 ammunition through a Ruger 5.7 pistol and got a surprisingly large deviation in both point of impact and accuracy. And this raised the question in my mind, would a different pistol yield more consistent results? My experience with the Ruger 5.7 is that it is not a very good pistol. To test this, I have a Psa Rock, and I don't have the complete panoply of ammunition that was demonstrated in Paul Harrel's video, but I do have a fair amount of them. Let's have a look. And these are the ammunitions I have. The first one here is the 62 grain subsonic FN ammunition. This next one is Fiocchi 40 grain bolt pack ammunition. That's the new stuff that just came out. Next, we have some 40 grain ballistic tip ammunition. This is the stuff that Paul Mito is currently selling. I have some FN SS 195 ammunition, and I have the titular Black Dragon Marketing Fang ammunition. So I'm going to go ahead and shoot these in this order at the target downrange. I believe I have enough of a variation ammo to actually test this in some degree, what with having the titular Black Dragon Fang marketing ammunition. So, without further ado, I have a box about 25 paces downrange, each marked. I'll shoot 5 shot groups at each point, and we'll see how the patterns compare. We'll begin with the 62 grain subsonics. Now the 40 grain brass solid, and now the 40 grain bolt pack ammunition. That was incidentally also the ammunition I used to sight the pistol. Now the 40 grain ballistic tip ammo from AAC, Palmetto Sister Company. And I have a misfire. Oh, no, a failure to see. Or a failure to lock back, I'm sorry. All right, and now the SS 195. I believe that failure to lock back was my fault. And now the titular Black Dragon Fang ammunition. All right, let's go have a look at these patterns and see what we got. So first up, I have the subsonic ammunition. It is a few inches low on this pattern. Now we have the 40 grain bulk ammunition. That's pretty well dead center. That was me pulling a shot right there. Then we have the 40 grain ballistic tip. That may have been me pulling these shots. Hard to tell if that's actually a shift in pattern or not. Then we have the SS 195. That one was just me. Again, a smidge lower than our main pattern right here. And then our Black Dragon Fang ammunition does not show, in this case, a point of impact movement, but the spread is quite a bit larger. That might just be my shooting. It's hard to say for sure, but I am satisfied that there's at least not a dramatic point of impact shift. Well, what can we take away from this? Well, I did see a point of impact low for subsonic ammunition and a slight point of impact shift for the ultralight 27 grain ammunition, and I did see a slightly wider spread on the Black Dragon Fang ammunition. Still close enough that I would call it reasonably accurate for what you would probably need it for. Whether or not 5.7 is actually good for anything is another discussion for another time. Now, one of the reasons I suspected that maybe the pistol was to blame is that the Ruger 5.7 pistol is, in my estimation and experience, not very good. Compared to the Psa Rock, it has several disadvantages. Ergonomically, in my opinion, the PSA is far better. The trigger on the PSA is far better.
this safety mechanism on the PSA is actually existent, unlike the Ruger, which has a safety recall. If I want, I can get solid night height sights for the PSA. If I want, I can order it cut for an optic and order it with an optic for less money than a Ruger is without either of those features. Whereas the PSA, if I want, can have a threaded barrel out of the box without having to shell out an additional $220 for a threaded barrel. The PSA does not force you to have those idiotic dirt ingress holes that they mill in slides these days. The PSA is a better pistol in every capacity. Now, whether or not this is simply a case of this pistol happening to do better on average with those ammunitions is another thing. The point of impact shift with the Ruger going from the regular 40 grains that I sighted it in with to the subsonics was enormous. And that's what made me think that the Ruger may in fact be partly to blame for some of the poor performance you saw in Paul Harrel's video. But I noticed when I did have the Ruger, incidentally, you'll notice I do not have the Ruger anymore. That's because the day after I got this, I got rid of the Ruger as fast as I could. The point that Paul emphasizes over and over again is that you need to test your ammunition in your gun. You need to make sure that your special elite, super effective hyper ammunition will not have a massive point of impact shift from your cheap steel case plinking ammunition. So I'm kind of glad that Paul prompted me to finally actually dig out my box of oh so precious ammunition and actually test it and find out and know for sure what in fact it will actually do when I do try to fire it. So anyway, I hope that was informative to someone. Thank you all for watching.